Okay, welcome. Now that you've finished typing your essay, what we're going to do is we're going to format it using 5 simple formatting tools in order to make it more presentable. The first of these is what we're going to do is we're going to take the title and the author, and what we're going to do to them is we're going to center them. We're going to bring them right here in the middle. I do see a lot of students doing this by using the spacebar. And though this works, it's not very effective in actually finding the exact middle. So often I'll have a title that looks like that, and that doesn't look very centered. Or here, that almost looks centered, but you're never really sure. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight El Salvador, and we're going to highlight the author's name, and we're simply going to align it to the center by clicking on this center button. And then it gets exactly to the middle of the page. The next thing we want to do is we want to format the font style of the title. And because the title is very important, we also want to format the font size. And the way we do this is we're going to add a bold styling to it to make it a little bit more visible, make it pop a little bit. And when you click it, you'll see it gets a little bit darker. And though that does work, if we click away, it does look a little bit darker. It's still a little bit small and kind of difficult to distinguish from the rest of the text. So we highlight it again. And this time we'll make the font size a little bigger. Let's say 18. And now when we click away, El Salvador really does look a lot bigger than the rest of the text. And sometimes you might want to play with the size of the author's name. I like to make the author's name a little bit smaller than everything else. So we have the large title, the smaller author's name, and then a regular sized font for the actual essay. And that's usually going to be a 12 size font. And if we highlight this, we'll see that the size up here is 12. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to do is something that we talked about in class when we were writing an essay. At the beginning of each paragraph, we want to indent. And this is usually 10 to 15 spaces at the beginning of each paragraph. Now, we could do this using the space bar like this, but this is a long, slow process, and there's definitely an easier way to do it. So we put the cursor at the beginning of each paragraph, and then we just click pause. Sorry, not pause, tab, which is at the top left corner of your keyboard. Just like that. And then you do that to the next paragraph as well. Tab. And you'll do this for all 5 paragraphs of your 5-paragraph essay. So this is paragraph number 3, paragraph number 4, and our conclusion, paragraph number 5. And now we'll see that our essay is really starting to look a little bit more like an essay, as opposed to just writing and just typed text. Finally, the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to space out the lines of this product a little bit. And there's a couple reasons for that. The first is that it's just easier to read for any audience that you have it set up for. It'll make your teacher's life a lot easier. And overall, it just looks a little bit nicer. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to start by going to Edit, and then we're going to click on Select All, because what we want to do is we want to apply this paragraph spacing to the whole text. And then we're going to go to Format. And this time, instead of formatting the font, we're going to format the paragraphs. And we click on it. And if you come down here to spacing, we want to deal with this over here where it says line spacing. Right now it's single spaced, meaning that when you begin the next line of text, it doesn't skip a line. It's just the next line. So what we want to do is we want to change this to 1.5 or double or a bunch of other options. For the purposes of what we're doing, we're going to choose double spacing. So we click on that, and then we click OK, and then we realize that the whole text is just a little bit crisper and easier to read. And if we scroll down, paragraph 3, paragraph 4. We're on our second page, that's okay. And then you have a nice 2-page essay, complete with 5 different formats. And those were the alignment format, where we centered the title, the font size format, we made the title bigger and we made the author's name a little smaller, the font style format, where we made the title bold, and then the 2 paragraph formats, where we indented the paragraph and we changed the line spacing of the paragraphs. And then once all that is done, you simply click on save, and all your changes are saved to the document.